Another person was in the car with me, a woman who was also going to give a talk there. She's a woman who had taught in the university. She had a university position, but she left in order to go live in a poor village in one of the poorest areas, Rajasthan, where she lived in a hut and, what we would call indescribable conditions, working mainly on women's issues. And I think she'd been there about 17 years by then. So a really dedicated person, thrown her life into it. I noticed as we were driving through this, when you drive through a city, as soon as the car stops, there's a horde of miserable people who come asking for a rupee, a penny, showing a gypsy woman with a starving child, every horror you can think of. And she told me right away, don't give anyone anything. Because once you do, you can't make any dent anyway, and once you do it, just you get them out. But as we drove, I noticed that she wasn't looking out the window. And I asked her, I asked her, how do you live with all this? And she said, the only way you live is not looking. You can't look and survive. So you have to somehow wall yourself off just in order to keep going. And this is a person who had dedicated her life at a level that you almost never see. But she's right. We all have to do it. You can't survive otherwise. If you look out the window, you've got to do something about it. And that's hard. Some of us really suffer, but not you and me and the people we know. We have fairly decent lives. We do a lot of things we like to do, and a lot of rewards in it, and so on. Work we like, people we like, and so on. And it's just easier not to face the kinds of realities which would lead us to giving it up, even in part. So you close the window. We do it all the time. And as I say, at some level, you couldn't survive if you didn't do it. Like the woman in the car in New Delhi. She does it. I respect that. She has to. Otherwise, there'd be no way for her to survive. But for most of us, we close the window much too early.